Going to be talking about focus on astrophotography. We're going to be looking at how you can get into it if you already own a DSLR and want to have a go-to tracker combination. We're going to focus on that in our Amazon live broadcast. We're also going to focus on the how to use a telescope and your camera that you already own as well. So before we get into all that stuff, I want to talk a little bit about a new product we introduced a few weeks ago. This is the Explore Scientific Reflex Sight, and this, we had a shipment of them, small shipment, and we expect it to last a pretty good time. It lasted 4 days, sold out over the weekend. So we have a new shipment in, good stock of these. We've already sold a goodly number of them. We expect this. It looks like it's going to be a great product as well. Really hot seller. This is a Reflex Sight. It comes with a Dovetail, a Vixen style mini Dovetail. It has a cover that goes over, and I always struggle to get it off the first time. It has a struggle that goes over, there we go, that serves as a cover for it. And if you want to use it as a dust cover, a Duke shield, right there it is. So what this is a bullseye style device. And Paul, I don't know, do we have any B-roll on this stuff, on this? Okay, so this is so new. We don't have any pictures of it to show you what the Reticle looks like. We're going to work on that and we'll show you next week. But this is a zero power heads up Reticle. So the image that's projected out of this LED hole right here reflects on this, and so you can look through that and see it. And once you get it lined up with your telescope, then it very simply lines up with the object in the sky. And let me show you how this goes on your telescope here. Move everything out of the way. It's real simple. This is designed to fit on either a mini Dovetail or it fits on our new hybrid 2-in-1 finder foot. So this finder base takes either the Meade/Explore Scientific foot, which is like an upside down T, or it works on the mini Dovetail, which is known as the Cinta Celestron Orion Dovetail. It simply goes on there just like that, tightens down, get it all the way down there so it's tight, tightens down, and now get in there good and tight. And now this finder is attached to the telescope, so when it goes to wherever it's going to go to, you simply look through here, heads up display, you see 3 concentric circles, and you can control how bright they are, and you just simply center it up with the object you want to look at, and there it goes. So before you start, obviously you're going to have to look through the telescope, center something in the telescope, and then use these 3 generous sized knobs to simply move the reticle around until it's centered up on the same thing. And voila, you've now got a finder scope on your telescope, zero power, really easy to use because it's heads up, you can see it. That's going to be a great product that we expect to sell a great number of these based on early sales. It is going to be a very hot item. This is the Explore Reflex Sight heads up display. So let me go on down the road a little bit, get everything put back together. The little cover comes off real easy. You just put it down in there and get it lined up with little holes, and serves as a great dew shield. So if it's up, dew starts coming down, you can put this up and continue to use it, and then take it off real simply. Comes off, use it. Once you get on your target, simply put it back on just like this, and then slide it in place, and it keeps the dew from covering up and doing up the reticle sight on this device. So that's Explore Scientific Reflex Sight, new product. We've sold a bunch of these in the past 4 days and sold out a couple of cases of them in 4 days over the weekend. This is going to be a great product. So keeping track of my time. I don't see the time here. Okay, so this is another item we have. It's the DSLR camera adapter, and this is a brand new one out of the box. So it comes with the 1/4 to 20 screw here, and I'm going to simply unscrew this from this position and move it to the middle one because that's where I know I need it from experience. Simply going to move it, and let's try and do this. Screw things in right-handed since I'm right-handed, and it should just screw in right there. Haven't done this one. Gonna assume it's got threads. Oh, look at that. It does. So now, very simple way, I've got this, and now I can attach it to a tripod mount that's great for telescopes. It's gonna look just like this. Take the DSLR I've got, put it into the 1/4 to 20 hole, use the little raise up hand screwy thingy-majigger. Oh, okay. I don't see any. So I'm going to tighten that down, and I like to get things good and tight. So I'm going to tighten that, and then I'm going to twist that to really get it tight. Now then, I can come over here onto the telescope and just simply, or the tripod, and I've got it backwards. So I want to screw this around because I don't want to mar up that surface with the attachment point. I want to mar up the silver piece that's on it. Here we go, spin it around, do the same thing over again, get it good and tight, and then twist it so it gets tighter, just like that. So now I've got this so I can put it on the telescope tripod, and now I'm using my camera on the tripod in place of a camera. So this is, oh, there we go. The comments have come up. Here we go. Howdy everyone, and happy Friday from Pekka. Josh Kovac, how do you keep the shield open? The shield keeps sliding down. When I point the scope up, the shield keeps sliding, and I had the shield, I had the shield on backwards. Okay, looks like you figured that out, Josh. But yeah, I take it out when I use it. I've used one of these once. I just take the cover off. It just sort of angle it up and out. It pops right out. And then when I get to the object I want to get to, I just put it back in there. Another solution I thought about was simply to put a rubber band around it to hold it in place. And then when you're ready to use it, just pull the rubber band up, flip the top over, and it just will then hold in place to keep the dew off of the reticle piece of plastic or glass that's in there. So now I've got my digital camera mounted onto my telescope mount. I'm going to use some tape to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on what I want, get the zoom I want, and I'm actually going to tape it down with some painter's tape or gaffer's tape because I don't want this thing to get up in the air and start sliding down because it can slide on its own, and I'll have a zoom shot, and I don't want to do that. I also, once I get it in focus, I am going to simply tape the focus ring down because I'm going to have it on manual focus as well. So, is it on manual focus? Yes. And so I've got it on the IEXOS 100 tracker go-to combination. It was originally designed to be used exactly like this, but people have discovered that telescopes work real well on this too. So this is the camera is so light that it is too heavy for the counterweight. So let's just do a little experiment here and see what happens if I take the counterweight off. Nope, that's not going to work. So we're just going to go with one counterweight all the way up. And it's not, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. I was thinking backwards, which I'm good at doing sometimes. I do goofy stuff sometimes. So Josh, I'm glad you figured it out, Josh Kovac. So there we go. Well, that's pretty good. I want it a little bit camera heavy, just a little bit. There's a technical reason. That way we're always lifting the weight pretty close right there. So I'm going to lock this axis with the clutch. These are not locks, these are clutches. I'm going to tighten that one down a little bit, not a whole lot. And now I'm going to, it's lens heavy, so I'm simply going to slightly loosen the two attachment points, move the camera back a little bit, tighten them both down, and it's a little camera heavy, which is what I want as well. So here we go, or eyepiece heavy, excuse me. So I'm going to place this back on here, get it lined up so it's square, tighten down the clutches pretty good. Now, I've already connected my iPad using the Explore Stars app. Explore Stars app runs on Android tablets, iPads, Windows tablet, Windows desktop, or Windows laptop machines. They do not, it will not run on an iPhone or an Android phone. There are people who have side loaded onto an Android phone and they discover the problem. Yeah, it will run, but the screen is so small and you can't zoom in on it, therefore the buttons don't work. So it only runs in, the sense that it operates, but you can't use it. So I've got it hooked up. This one was straight. This is a new one. My iPad did not have the password, and yes, it has a password. The password is simply PMC-EIGHT. The P, the C, the M, and the E are uppercase. That's all there is to it. Once that password is in, this device will run that without ever having a password entered again. So here we go. We're simply going to, but we haven't talked about polar alignment yet, have we? So I am going to polar align this by knowing that I'm at 36 degrees north. All right, so I'm going to simply turn this where this little gauge over here on the side is at 36. And there we go. 32, 34, 36. That's pretty good right there. And if it's dark enough and I can see Polaris, I can remove this little polar tunnel plug and I can rotate the declination axis 90 degrees, and that opens a little port that's in there. And here's how I do it. I have a green light rifle laser that I bought for $24. It's a SV Bonnie green rifle. No, you might want to try and get that up and put it in the carousel. I'd forgotten about that. I simply shine it through here, and if there's enough moisture or dust in the air, I can see that laser up in the sky, and I go, yep, that's pointed pretty darn close to Polaris. And then I can look through here and get Polaris, ensure that I'm seeing Polaris in there, and I can move this left and right or up and down. We have an azimuth adjustment plate that is a separate item. I don't have it here today. We'll have that on a show next week as well. So now I have it polar aligned real well, so I'm going to simply loosen the clutch, turn the telescope back, put the plug in right there, and now I'm simply going, and I'm going to look through the telescope to make sure that Polaris is real close to the center of the telescope, because, or the lens, the camera, because if the telescope is pointed off as a crazy, I keep saying telescope, if the camera lens is pointed off like this, the go-tos aren't going to be accurate. You have to have the polar axis and the camera pointed at the same spot. So I'm just going to go to the sun. So it's going to be simply catalog, solar, sun, slew to object, and off it goes. There we go. So auto slew has been turned on my tablet. I turn it off so I can control things a little bit better. When I'm doing a 3-star alignment or a 2-star alignment, if the auto slew is on, it just goes to wherever the first star is. A lot of times I can't see it because of a mountain or trees or something. So I just always operate with auto slew turned off. And then you can see we got some B-roll running right now of the DSLR CDA right there. And it's using actually the same camera in the video right now. So I have now gotten to the sun, and it's a very simple thing to look in the digital view back and burn your eye out. I'm only going to the sun, assuming we have a solar safe filter on here. Probably should have picked something else, because never look at the sun through a camera because it's magnified and it'll burn your eye out. It'll also build up a lot of heat in the camera. We do have sun catcher solar safe filters that we can add to the carousel. That's probably something we should have up there all the time. That you can get one that'll fit on your camera lens or your telescope. We cover every telescope, some really big sizes we can take care of. But now I would be able to now track the sun with this, and I can fine tune the alignment by moving the telescope left and right and up and down. Using an Exos 100 on Saturday at a farmer's market, I tracked the sun for over 3 hours after I did a little bit of fine tuning. Didn't move the telescope any, moved the mount and got it pointed exactly center at the sun. Okay, so space time with Robert. Hello all from Bellingham, Washington. Do I see a Meade in the back right? Back right. No, that is not a Meade. That is an Explorer 1 CF400 blue carbon wrapped telescope. Good eye, being blue, that makes you think it's a Meade, but it's not. The Explorer 1 brand generally runs into the blue colors. Let's see, Cameron Gillis, Kent, the Reflex Sight is awesome. Just got mine and has a partly cloudy nights to try out, and it's great for cloud dodging, indeed. And Cameron, we would love for you. I don't know if there's been any reviews posted yet on our website. If you can, that would be awesome for you to go post a review and give us an honest review. And over on, we've got it. Are you saying we have another question, Paul? Yeah, I see one from John Kovac, and I see one from Space Time with Robert, and one from Cameron Gillis. That's all I see. Right. Don't see it. Nope. Have to wait for that feed to come through. Do you sell solar finders? We do not, from Josh Kovac. Josh, we do not sell solar finders. You know, that's something I have thought about. We haven't discussed it. I have seen people make some very easily. You know, I'm going to suspect there are some 3D printed kind out there where you simply just take a piece of card and slip it into it, poke a hole through it, and then that shines onto another piece of card. I have a friend that's what he uses to find exactly what the sun is. I simply use a shadow. I'll hold the back of my iPad up and watch shadows, and when the shadows get sharp and crisp and level, I know I've got the object in the field of view. So we're rolling up to 2 o'clock. We're going to be moving over to Amazon Live and doing the same show over again. Jump over there. If you haven't seen our show there, it goes on for an hour. We'll be talking about this again as well as some other products. And we're going to put a ED80 on here and show you how to hook the camera up to make it work as well. John, if you want some more help and some ideas on that finder, feel free to go to our portal. Go to explorescientific.com, go down to the bottom of the page, find customer portal, click there, start a file, and you can ask all the questions and we'll help you out with the ideas that we have, whether it's a product we sell or not, with an idea of how do you make a safe, solar safe finder. We'll do that for you and help you do that. So we're out of here, going over to Amazon Live. Hope to see you in a few minutes. If not, see you next Monday about 1:30 Central Time. Bye-bye, everybody.